Okay, in case you're having trouble understanding the assignment and how to work with a spreadsheet, here's a little video that hopefully will help. So here's the data from one of the sets that we used in class. I'm not going to fill out the first two because I do want you to do those on your own. But the idea is here's the X and the Y coordinates. And then you guys measured how far this point or your first point is, whatever it was, from the origin. And the second point, I didn't want you to have to measure all 25 because I know that's kind of tedious. So I did do the rest of the points for you. But these are all represent measured distances. Now, in this column, you're going to use the distance formula to calculate the distance. And in your assignment, the distance formula is right here. Um, Now, in our problem, one of the points represents the origin. So x1 and y1 actually are 0. And so x2 minus 0 is just x2. I just made that a plain old x. And then y2 minus 0 is just going to be y2, and I just made that a plain old y. So this is actually the formula we're going to use because one of our points is 0, 0. Now, the x and the y coordinate actually change. Sometimes it's these 2 points right here. Then it's going to be these 2 points. Then it's going to be these two. And then it's going to be these two. And here's the cool thing about using a spreadsheet to do this. Once you have your data entered in, you can work with the data and you don't have to enter in formulas multiple times. So we're only going to enter in the formula one time to calculate the distance between this point and the origin. And then you're going to see that we can automatically fill the table and have it calculate all the points, all the distances automatically. So I'm going to go here into this cell, which is E4. And this is actually, if you're following along on this thing, I am down here. So down here in this step. So I'm down in step 6 down here. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to enter in a formula. On a spreadsheet, anytime you start a formula, you always start with an equal sign. Now the spreadsheet knows you're entering in a formula. We want to find the square root, oops, and so this is the shortcut for a square root, or it's actually a formula for the square root on here. We're going to take the square root of more than one thing, so I need to start with parentheses. And I'm going to take the square root, and I do want to do the square root of negative 19 squared plus negative 7 squared, but I'm not going to type those numbers in. Instead, I'm going to type in the location. The location of negative 19 is in cell B4. So I'm going to type in B4. Oops. And notice it's highlighted orange here, and it's also highlighted the cell here. So I can confirm, yes, that's the right one. I want to square it. So above the 6 key, there's this symbol. So you do shift and then that symbol that's called a caret. Lets it know that an exponent's following. We want to square it. And then I'm going to add the square root of C4. Another thing I can do rather than typing C4, I can just click on this cell. Notice it automatically put C4 right in there. If you missed it, I'm going to delete this. So I could type in C4 if I can do it. Or I can just click in the cell and then it types it in for me. But I do want to do C4 squared, close my parentheses, and then I can hit enter and it's calculated. And take a look at what's happening. It's automatically wanting to fill. It's actually predicting what I want to do. And it is predicting correctly, it looks like. I could just go ahead and hit the check mark and have it do it for me. I want to show you just another way of doing it. So I could do that, or I'm just going to hit X because I don't want it to. Another thing that I can do is I want to copy this formula into all of these. See that little dot right there? So I'm over here now. Then hover your mouse over the dot in the bottom right corner. If I go to the bottom right corner, see how my cursor changed? Here it's just a regular cursor. It's a hand. I just want it to change to that plus sign right there. And then I'm going to click. I'm holding and I'm dragging down. I'm going to drag down to the bottom of this. and it automatically fills it in for me. And let's just click in one of the cells and see what it did. The first cell, E4, look at what it typed in. The next cell below it, now it's B5 and C5. And if you double click on one of those, you can see now it's using these two to calculate the square root. If I double click on this cell right here, now it's using these two to calculate the square root. That's the great thing about spreadsheets is it automatically will calculate all this data for you without you having to type in the formula over and over and over again. And just take a look at between the data in column and the yellow column and compared to the green column. They're pretty close. Here's another thing you can do, and then I'm just going to end this just a little extra. I have lots of digits showing. Let's say I wanted to do like this one where there's only one digit showing. That's where I can go up here to these decrease decimal places, increase. I want to decrease, so I can do that. Now it's only showing one digit. You don't have to do that part, but it makes it a little easier to compare. And you see the measured distances weren't too far off. So take a look at your two measured distances and see how they compare to the actual calculated. And if they're far off, see if you can figure out what mistake you made when you measured. All right, well, that's it. And have fun with the data. Bye.